That's great.
Give him a little nudge.
Si la podemos hacer en español, la pregunta.
I'm calling to order this regular meeting of the Town of Gibsons Council for September the 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. We are honored to gather here on the traditional territories of the Skokomish Nation, and I first need a motion to approve the agenda. Thank you, Councillor Kroll, seconded Councillor Thompson. All those in favor? That motion carries. And we have adoption of two sets of minutes, July 25th special council meeting and July 25th regular council. We need a motion to, I see Councillor Lumley, seconded by Councillor D'Andrade, to adopt these minutes, I presume. All those in favor? That motion carries. And now we have a delegation by Ricardo Mondragon Guerra. I've never had to pronounce your last name. I'm pretty sure I was close enough. From the Rotary Club of Gibsons, Skywalk at Lookout Park project. So you're welcome to come up and speak to this.
Do I have to see them?
Yeah, ideally, because the microphone is.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And do you want to come here and?
No, I
No?
think everybody knows who I am.
Okay. Well, on behalf of the Gibsons Rotary Club, we want to introduce you this idea, Skywalk at the Lookout Park or Coles Park, depends where we see the information. And it's just a conceptual idea, a dream of what we can do on this vacant lot with a really, really great location. We can. The main goals of the OCP at the harbor area and the strategic plan of 2023 and 2027 are really clear. Preserve the character, make the waterfront fully accessible, and I would like to include as well like a multi-generational, environmentally friendly, reconciliation, and make spaces useful for social and economical activities. No? So we want to create a space that many people can enjoy there, and we are following all those requirements. No? Next, please. The lot, the property is a really complicated lot, and my first thought there is nothing really that we can do there, more than what it is. I mean, it's something there. It's small, it's really steep, and a service road runs from side to side of the lot. So the proposal is to create from Marine Drive the entrance of a platform with benches and tables, and from there suspended accessible pier as well that will run from west to east towards the mountains. And from the sidewalk along the water, the idea is to keep the seating logs that are existing there and create at the south of the property a playground. And in the middle of the lot, a staircase will connect the lower with the higher part of the lot. Next one, please. Which is more or less here the idea. The platform will be fully accessible as well, the pier. And at the end of the pier, we'll have the stairs going down to the sitting room area on one side, and the other side to the playground area. This is a remaining lot there in the corner. So the service road will stay in the same place, and the trucks will go under the pier. We have enough height to play with. Next, please. The timing of the it's really important in this project, well, like in the majority of this kind of projects. The town's improvement in the sidewalk, and as well the deadline of some of the grants that we can apply, the provincial grants, makes next year 2024 the best time to do it. And we are looking to get funds from the society, from provincial grants, from the tourism grant, for the Rotary International grants that they have, and we can apply for, and of course with the support of the town. Yeah, next. So to make this possible, we want to ask you for three things tonight. The first one is the authorization to keep working in this property that we are aware that is a public land. Second, a letter of support from the town to the Gibsons Rotary Club to apply for the grants, which will be in specific the tourism and Rotary International. And the third, to help us with the invitation we would like to get involved the Squamish Nation. So we don't know exactly which is the best way to approach them. Yeah, so I heard that we didn't have too much time, so I tried to make it really, really quick.
Thank you, Ricardo. Are there questions from council? Councilor DeAndrade.
Thank you, Mayor. This seems very interesting. I would like to hear from the Director of Infrastructure and from the CEO if there's any other plan for this area or this fits what I believe it does, but I would like to hear from the Director or Manny.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you for the question. At this time, there is no plan for developing the park as far as an internal plan. Long term, certainly we would be looking at trying to enhance all of our parks facilities, but I think the only consideration in that area that we have in the immediate future would be the raising of the seawall as part of that grant funded project. So certainly elevations of that seawall, both for vehicle to be able to pass under it and with consideration of that raising, and also vertical clearance requirements for maintenance of the sanitary main that would be under there, or the kind of the considerations that from the infrastructure perspective we would have in mind.
I believe the Director of Infrastructure Services answered half of my questions, because I was going to, hopefully the timing is congruent with the seawall project. The other one is, and I know this seems silly, but I know the presentation shows the old Coles Marine property, and I just, but the image, the depiction, the artist rendering shows the town property with the service road on it. But both renditions in the project show the old Coles Marine, like
Yeah.
where they show it on there with the willow tree and stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure,
Private property.
yeah.
Yeah. I can answer that one.
Oh, can you?
The thing
Let's hear
is to really capture the perspective that we will have of that park. I couldn't take it from the real property, from the real location. So I went to the other side to take the picture because it was clear the other one has overgrown, and so I couldn't take like exactly what it will be. It's not in the private lot. It's in the public one. Yeah, it's just because it was easier for me to take the perspective that I wanted to show. Yep.
Councilor Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. What's the square footage of the proposed area? We know we're referencing town property, but can you say off the top of your head how large?
It's
large the
around.
space will be?
I think it's around 9,000 square feet. Yep. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, around 9,000 square feet. Yep.
Councilor Kroll.
Thank you, Mayor White, and thank you, Ricardo. Some time ago, I met Ricardo on another matter, and he shared with me sort of a computer rendering he did of this project, where it goes from sort of a site plan, and then it sort of morphs into sort of what you've presented to us today. And I think if you were able to share that with us, it gives a really good sort of visual representation. And I think something that Ricardo has taken into consideration is the potential of the actual seawalk having to be raised, because if you look in the, I think it was the previous slide, you can see the extreme end of the level boardwalk is actually cantilevered out, so it wouldn't impact on any work done below on the seawalk. So, thank you. But if you could share with us that early rendering that you, or the computer sort of transition where it morphs from the plan view to the 3D model would be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any inclusion or retention of parking in this? I just think of Armour's Beach already being kind of a squeeze for parking,
Yeah, no. it's
attracting people there, and then I'll let Ricardo answer, but you can.
If I may,
No,
through
so,
you,
yeah.
one of the things that really caught me with this project that I thought was a huge plus is its level access. So it encourages people to walk to it or, cycle. But particularly for anyone with any mobility issues, it allows them to get out and have that view and vantage that, currently isn't that readily accessible to them.
And just regarding that, though, too, I'm concerned that our own infrastructure may need upgrading as well, and staff may help to. I don't know if staff's put any thought into this, but just considering the sidewalk, and there's always tightly parked cars there too, of getting across the sidewalk, particularly people with accessibility issues to safely get over down to the park. Is that part of the plan, and is that something that staff has looked at on? See.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Mayor. At this point, we have had a kind of a cursory high-level look at this proposal. I think as far as accessibility, the consideration would be that there's no sidewalk on the east side of Marine Drive, and there's no crosswalk currently at that location, so certainly a crosswalk would be necessary, which would entail a bit of work on the sidewalk on the opposite side to create a bump out similar to Armour's, which would probably impact a couple of parking stalls there. So that would have to be, there'd have to be a look at that as well as what the impact would be on the parking in that area.
Yeah, and maybe even having a look at the sidewalk access to that spot too, because I know there are parts where it's very narrow. It's already not a very accessible area. That's where there is actually a sidewalk on one side of Marine Drive. There's often vegetation, and it's not the greatest for accessibility. Yeah, just wanted to raise that. And we don't. I understand there was a request in this proposal. We do have a policy that we don't immediately respond to requests on the same evening. But I think we'll definitely be considering those, like the letter of support, something we can definitely look at in the near future.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor DeAndrade?
Just a quick question regarding the green. Is it grass or this is a man-made material?
Which?
Well, the whole playground, the whole area, yes.
Yeah, the idea, we need to define materials for sure. The idea will be low maintenance. Probably the grass won't be the best thing, even if the concept will look really nice if it's grass, but probably we will need to go for different material.
Okay,
Just for maintenance and water, for sure.
okay. Just a little bit of observation, because this is close to the water, right? So hopefully it's an environmental friendly material. Otherwise it's going to be leaking to the ocean. That's it.
Okay, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch further about this, I'm sure.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're on to the bylaws section of the meeting, 5.1. There is a zoning amendment bylaw, number 106573, regarding residential guest accommodation use, changing the wording from 3 consecutive months to 3 selected months in a year. And we've already passed 3 readings of this. This is simply a motion to adopt this bylaw now that there's been MODI approval. I see moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Lumley. Well, it's adoption, so there's no, all those in favor? Yeah. Typically no debate on adoption. A question on this? Okay, go ahead, Councillor DeAndrade.
Thank you, Mayor. It's just if the policy explain how to select the months in a calendar year and whether the selection needs to be done annually. I just wonder if the policy has all this embedded.
It's not a policy, it's a bylaw.
No, I know,
And
but
it is, the wording is should be in the agenda. Is it not?
I'm just saying if the policy attached to the bylaw, I mean, I understand the bylaw.
No, there's no
but-
policy. It's a bylaw. we
No,
just
the
did.
STR policy, right, when it includes explanation, because for example, when I read that, I have questions, right? Is it something that has to be selected every month, every year, the selection criteria, right? Or, I'm just wondering for a user, for the user.
There's
for the
no, yeah, there's
STR.
no written policy explaining that. I think this would be up to the interpretation of planning staff to, on how to interpret the bylaw. And I believe we've talked about this before. And I think they had a perfectly rational answer. I'm sure of
Okay.
it. I mean, I think, one option would be, it's got to be consistent for everybody. I mean, one option would be when somebody applies for a business license, they select their months at that point, and those are the ones that they need to stick to.
And perhaps if they want to change, they have to make another
They
submission.
can probably do, yeah, they can, I mean, I could imagine there'd be flexibility, but that would be up to, planning department.
Okay. Thank you.
Obviously, they can't change once they've started to use one of the months, but I'm sure there's sensible approach, there'll be a sensible approach to it. Moving on to 426 Gower Point Road. It's 5.2 and 5.3, and I'll do them one by one. And that is first, that official community plan amendment bylaw number 985-33, 2023, be given third reading. This is the item we just had a public hearing on. And we have discussed it in the past, past first and second reading. I'll ask if there are any questions on this. I think it's a pretty straightforward forward request that we've discussed in the past. So is there a motion for third reading? Moved by Councillor Kroll, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Any discussion of the motion? All those in favor? The motion carries. And then that the zoning amendment bylaw number 1065-74, 2023 be given third reading for the same property. Moved by Councillor Kroll, seconded by Councillor DeAndrade. Any discussion of this motion? All those in favor? The motion carries. And now we have the permissive property tax exemption bylaw, number 1309, 2023. And we're looking for first reading of this bylaw. We do have when we decided to go ahead with the tax exemptions as presented this year for a 1 year, is that correct? Yep, 1 year term. We also decided we'd have a workshop, and that has been scheduled, or it's and has anyone received any invites for that yet? Okay, so those invites have gone out. I just thought we have a few workshops scheduled in the next several months, and I'm going to review all those dates and make sure everybody knows them. But yeah, so that workshop's in the works. But right now we're looking at first reading of the 1 year. We decided Councillor Kroll moves it, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Any discussion of the motion? All those in favor? That motion carries. And we're on to committee reports. And that's simply, I see no actual motions coming from this committee of the whole meeting, but there are some minutes there that we don't need to adopt, correct? They're just there for information. And then we're on to, we don't have council reports at this meeting because we've had a break over the last month. So, I mean, I'm sure some people did some things, but we can catch up on that next month. And number 7, item 7 is a motion to close. And that motion to close is for a number of sections of the community charter. Sections 91A, B, C, K, and 92 B of the community charter. So those entail quite a number of things that are listed in the agenda. You see Councillor Kroll, Councillor D'Andrade, with the motion to close. All those in favor? All those in favor? The motion carries. So now we're